All right, so this is accountable masculinity rule number 3. As you see, this is on TikTok. You guys go ahead, follow that page. Here we go. Go through it line by line, So when I was writing this, to go through it line by line, the first part when I talked about decentralized leadership was about knowing when to lead and when to follow. That's the first act of submission. You submit to what you have to be responsible for, and you have to submit to what you are unable to be responsible for. Men are fixers, and a lot of the times we take on things that are tasks that are, able to be accomplished, like possibility versus probability. And sometimes we overcommit. So when I was writing this, to go through it line by line, the first part when I talked about decentralized leadership was about knowing when to lead and when to follow. That's the first act of submission. You submit to what you have to be responsible for, and you have to submit to what. Okay, that's one page of it. And here's the other. So when I was writing this, yeah. So you guys got it right there. There's a way to approach this in a civilized manner. You gotta have something. You gotta have some kind of simple principle. It don't take much. You don't have to be complex, because everything comes back to what accountable masculinity is about. It's about being focused on self, men focusing on men, and just becoming valuable to your own community. Working on self-worth, reinforcing the dialogue, the much needed dialogue, to be valuable to those around you. We all need a wolf pack. Definitely. All need a wolf pack. They help you write these laws. They help you write your personal code to yourself. They help you tap into what's important about who you are character-wise, how they see you, the objective view. Compromise puts you in a position where you have to be objective, especially from a leadership perspective. You got to know your limitations. You got to know what you will and won't accept. And you got to know those boundaries based on behalf of the people that you are responsible for. Responsible men never get out of this conversation. Responsible men are the only men that matter. That is a fact. Like, nobody calls useless people. Useless people put us in compromising positions. So responsible men that understand that there's a greater goal within this community, they don't have to be reminded to stay on code. They don't have to be. They're already there. This is about getting to some degree of reasonable tone of conversation, where we can take the feelings out and have the objective dialogue that it takes to solve problems. We all have to become better problem solvers. We all have to become better negotiators of our own time, or our attachment to time, rather. Meaning that we don't control it, and it's our job to make the most of it when we have it. Well, compromising your time goes into that equation also, because when you compromise time, you compromise your passion, you compromise access to your own joys, your own interest. There's like very few outcomes where time isn't the variable, because everything is centered on it. Sometimes it's money. Some things that require money initially still require time for it to actually come to fruition. It doesn't just happen all the time just because you have money. It doesn't happen all the time just because you know somebody. Sometimes it requires, a an outside event that accelerates your progress towards your goal. Momentum. Compromises slow down momentum in a lot of cases, or it could expedite it. It just depends on where you are in your process. So if you operate on a low frequency, compromising might slow you down. And by low frequency, being under resourced, being disagreeable, being argumentative, having nothing that you can compromise on. You're probably operating on a need to be right. And all of us that have non-negotiables have a need to be right about what that is. Everybody's need to be right is not on the same level. Not. Can't be. Because we need the disagreements, the debates, we need them when they are useful. So you put a bunch of need to be rights in the same conversation, we're going to get a lot of truths. But at some point, you got to decide which truths are applicable based on the people, based on the environment, and based on the resource. Resources make the rules. Responsible men use resources correctly. Responsible men make the compromises so that he doesn't have to sacrifice his character. If you don't compromise correctly, you're going to end up potentially sacrificing your character. So those are some of the talking points for this evening. And, I just want to thank everybody that keeps showing up from week to week. Anybody that's making a purchase off the website, greatly appreciate that. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and share my screen. How about that? Again, go cop the book. You see it. We'll leave it up there for a second. A lot of people want to know who I am. Got a little bit of, my bio here on the mission statement. You can screenshot that or look at it at your leisure. Check out Valor and Victory on Shopify. As soon as you type it in, you'll see it. You can do a Google search on accountable masculinity, and you'll find any and everything that's associated with the brand, and it'll lead you right back to this website. More stuff coming, consulting. So let me drop some links in the chat. So if you're looking for a one-on-one business mindset consultation with me, you can book me. And also, guys, don't be shy. Support the platform. Yeah. And what else we got going on? Check out the shop too. I'll drop some of those links. Man, look, this t-shirt right here is for anybody that's tried to get you to compromise who you are. You man, look, you see, you got me up. Okay, I'm for YouTube's sake, I'm not gonna say what the F means. but you get to make it what it is. Yeah, you can't be fucked up. We'll take the shirt out as a cheap price. Just want to get the message out there. Plus, it supports your boy. Supports your boy. You know, the opportunity that we have in front of us by working together in a group economics construct puts us in a position where we don't have to compromise. We can work with each other and take what we already have, network, and make what we have better for everybody else. Create more efficient access to saying things that make us great. So the mindset of the man that doesn't put himself in position to compromise in unhealthy ways is that of the responsible man. A lot of what compromise entails is being subject to criticism. I wrote this earlier. I want to read it so we can capture it and understand, like, that a lot of people confuse compromise with sacrifice, and I don't think it's that. You know, the more I think about it as I go. Okay. So, objectively speaking, compromise is about general flexibility in leadership. It falls underneath accountable masculinity rule number 3, decentralized leadership, knowing when to lead and when to follow. Are you receptive and coachable? Being able to articulate healthy compromise through action is the metric of showing your work and your genuine intent. Is your work done in good spirit? Is it done as a chore? Is it done in a way where you're just here so